Hey guys, and thanks for stopping on in. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the bets that I think have some decent value against the spread in college basketball for January 25th, 2017. Had some really frustrating results yesterday, so hopefully we got the bad juju out of the way yesterday, and hopefully today we can kind of get things back on track a bit. In this video I'm going to be touching on eight particular games that I want to talk about, and also if you want you can get our daily free play over at our main website, stumpthespread.com. Our free play did come through for us yesterday. It was one of our few plays that did come through as Akron went on to cover the spread there against Eastern Michigan. Actually, our one-unit free bets over at our main site have been really on fire, winning 7 out of the last 8 days. So if you're interested in getting in today's one-unit free play, you can head on over there by clicking the logo in the top right-hand corner of this video if you're on desktop. And we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description as well. Also, if you want more of this pick content in the future, you can click that subscribe button on the video, and also if you can click the thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated and really helps us out. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about 8 games in today's video, and if you're interested in what those are going to be, I will put those in the video description as well. Alright, so the first one that I want to talk about is going to be over in the American between SMU and Central Florida. Excuse me. SMU has been putting up some great results in conference play, and they've really been improving their at-large resume, now standing 17-4 overall and 7-1 in conference. SMU's only conference defeat came in a very competitive matchup on the road against Cincinnati, losing that one by 2 points, and that one really could have gone either way. In their last outing, SMU came through for us, getting past Houston by a final of 85-64, and what was another solid home performance there for the Mustangs. The Mustangs have been performing well on the road in the AAC, as SMU has been building off of their defense, as this group ranks 4th in the nation in points allowed, giving up about 59.4 points per game on average. And then the home team, UCF, competed hard in their last outing on the road, but the Knights came up just short against Memphis, losing that one by 5 points. UCF has been a lot better than most were expecting coming into the year, as UCF stands 14-5 overall and 5-2 in league play. UCF is 4-0 at home thus far in conference, but things will get a bit tougher for this group going forward as they start going against some of the tougher teams in the American. The Knights are also a team that builds off of their defense, as this group ranks 3rd in the nation in points allowed, but UCF has shown a lower ceiling on the offensive end than this SMU squad this season, even though they both have similar ranked defenses. This should be a really fun game to watch if you're a fan of defense, and points are likely to be coming at a premium in this one. SMU has been playing very well as of late, and they have shown pretty well on the road in conference. We like SMU to outpace UCF on the scoreboard here, given their offensive advantages as they go on to win and cover this manageable spread here against UCF. Alright, scrolling down here, the next game we want to talk about is going to be in the ACC between Florida State and Georgia Tech. This Florida State squad, they've been living up to their high ceiling this season, really showing some great results in ACC play. Recently, Florida State has been picking up some nice wins, getting past Notre Dame and Louisville in competitive contests. It'll be interesting to see if Florida is able to continue to, keep their heads focused and, coming into this one on the road against Georgia Tech. There's been a lot of teams that have come off nice results, and then they go against Georgia Tech, and all of a sudden they have one of their worst outings in ACC play. The Seminoles, in their last outing on the road, they did fall to North Carolina by 13 points. But this group also showed that they can get the job done on the road, winning at Virginia. Florida State is loaded with intriguing talent, and this group likes to play fast, ranking 13th in the nation in scoring compared to 146 in total defense. And then Georgia Tech didn't always have the best results by any means back in the non-conference, but the Yellow Jackets have really been surprising everyone how consistently competitive they've been thus far in the ACC, outside of their one game against Duke. That was a rather embarrassing blowout defeat, but other than that, this Clemson group has really been solid. They've picked up some nice wins, like against NC State, and they also, took care of business against teams like Clemson and North Carolina. In their last outing, Georgia Tech came up short on the road against Virginia, losing by 13 points. And that was on the heels of a 1-point loss at Virginia Tech in their previous outing. The Yellow Jackets have taken pride in their role as spoiler in conference play, as this group has really shown growth through the first few months of the regular season, and they've been really building on that in ACC play. Florida State picked up some great wins this past week at home, and it'll be interesting to see if the Seminoles get complacent at all as they head out on the road. Georgia Tech has been consistently competitive in conference over the past couple weeks, and we expect this trend to continue for the Yellow Jackets today as they go on to cover this fairly large spread here on their home court against the Seminoles. All right, moving on down here. Just a game I want to touch on really quickly between Rhode Island and Richmond. This veteran Rhode Island squad obviously haven't been living up to their preseason top 25 ranking and not really in the tournament picture right now, and the Rams really need to go on a run from here on out through the rest of the regular season to get back into that at-large conversation. Definitely something that this Rhode Island team has the talent to do. It's just going to be a case of whether they can start putting together more consistent results on the offensive side of the ball. Richmond got off to a really hot start in conference play, but they have been fading back to the pack as of late. Richmond's not trending in the right direction right now, and this is a Rhode Island team that's really desperate to pick up wins, especially on the road in conference play. We are going to side with the road team here as the Rams take care of business against the Spiders, who have been fading a bit as of late. All right, scrolling on down here, the next game that I want to touch on is going to be between Evansville and Northern Iowa. This is a Evansville team that hasn't been finding much success in conference play, as the Purple Aces now stand 10-11 overall and just 1-7 in league play. Interestingly enough, Evansville's one win did come against Northern Iowa, but that was in the early portion of conference play when the Panthers were really, really struggling and having a hard time putting together any kind of decent performances on the offensive side of the ball. Evansville has largely been competitive in their defeats, but the Purple Aces have been unable to come through in a number of their close games. The Purple Aces are riding a 6-game losing streak, and in their last outing they fell on the road by a final of 61-67 at Loyola, Illinois. The Purple Aces have been fading on the offensive side of the ball, being unable to score more than 65 points in each of their last 4 games. Evansville likes to play at a slower pace, ranking 44th in the nation in total defense compared to 291st in scoring average. Northern Iowa, clearly one of the more disappointing teams in the conference, as this was supposedly one of the preseason favorites to compete in the upper tier of the Missouri Valley, but that hasn't been the case. The Panthers have been putting up some better results as of late, winning 3 in a row, and Northern Iowa picked up a nice upset win in their last outing on the road, getting past Southern Illinois by just 1 point in that one. Northern Iowa is another MVC squad that leans heavily on their defense, as the Panthers rank 61st in the nation in total defense compared to 327th in scoring average. Northern Iowa has been led by one of the better players in the conference, and Jeremy Morgan, who's averaging 16.3 points per game. Northern Iowa is starting to pick up some momentum as they head into this revenge game against Evansville. The Panthers fell to the Purple Aces on the road earlier in conference, but that's when the Panthers were struggling quite a bit. We do like Northern Iowa continue to build off of their recent success as they go on to win and cover the spread. Initially, when this one came out, we really liked Northern Iowa at the -4. It has shifted up, as you can see, quite a bit. A little more cautious on it right now, but we still will side with the Panthers here, giving the 7 points. All right, over in the Big East, we have a matchup between Butler and Seton Hall. Butler, they've had some less than ideal results on the road in Big East play, but overall, the Bulldogs have been a pretty solid performer this year. They're going here against a Seton Hall, and it does look like Rodriguez is going to be able to go in this one, which is great news here for Seton Hall, especially with their interior presence. Seton Hall is a veteran group that doesn't really play the prettiest basketball by any means, and sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot with their free throw shooting, but this is a hard-nosed team that really battles hard on the defensive end and on the glass. And behind their home court advantage, this Seton Hall team really could use some resume-building wins, and they'll get their chance here against Butler. And getting the points, we do like Seton Hall as the better bet in this one. All right, just about 3 more games that I want to touch on in this video, and the first one here is going to be Iowa versus Illinois over in the Big Ten. Iowa was throttled in their last outing on the road by Northwestern, losing to the Wildcats by a final of just 54-89. And things will be challenging for the Hawkeyes here going into another tough environment on the road. Iowa has had their shortcomings on the road in conference play as they're 0-3 away from home, now standing 11-9 overall and 3-4 in conference. The Hawkeyes even fell at home in their last outing, losing to the emerging Maryland Terps by 8 points in that particular matchup. Iowa is one of the faster-paced teams in the Big Ten, ranking 39th in the nation in scoring compared to just 303rd in total defense. Illinois has been the kind of team that, they haven't had the easiest schedule by any means thus far in Big Ten play, with a lot of their games coming on the road thus far. Illinois was hoping that they could put together the kind of resume to maybe make a play for an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, but it seems like a run to the NIT is probably more likely for this group. Illinois has been pretty solid at home, picking up wins against Ohio State and Michigan in Big Ten play. Illinois is coming off back-to-back road defeats against Purdue and Michigan, and the Illini are now hungry and pretty much desperate at this point to get back on track as they head back to their home court. Well, they'll play 3 of their next 4 games in Champaign. Illinois has shown stretches of solid play, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but this group has been also pretty inconsistent at times. Veteran guard Malcolm Hill has led the attack, averaging about 18 points per game for Illinois. The Illini have been a consistent performer for us, at least on their home court this year, and this matchup presents a great chance for the Illini to get back on track today against what has been one of the weaker road teams in the league. We'll side with Illinois to separate here on the scoreboard as they go on to win and cover this spread. All right, and then just 2 more games that I want to touch on very quickly, some smaller conference games. Let's see here. So East Tennessee State versus Stanford. We've always been high on this ETSU squad coming into the year, just given the amount of talent that they have, but in this very competitive conference going on the road here, giving the points seems pretty dangerous in this one. This is a Samford team that has shown they compete right up there with the best in this conference, and with their home court advantage, we do feel like Samford getting the points here is a pretty solid bet. And then just one more game that I want to touch on between South Dakota State and Denver. South Dakota State, major disappointment in the Summit this year. This is a team that's faded down right into the basement of the conference, and things don't get any easier for the Jackrabbits on the road, going against a Denver squad that didn't show necessarily the greatest results back during the earlier part of the non-conference, but the Pioneers have been a bit more competitive and been putting up better results over the past month to month and a half. We do feel like Denver on their home court here against South Dakota State, who hasn't been performing all that great. We do feel like Denver is going to be the better bet here, giving the points on their home court. And those are the 8 games that we wanted to touch on in today's video. Again, if you're interested in getting our daily free play over at our main site, you can check out stumpthespread.com by clicking this logo in the top right-hand corner of the video, and we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description. And if you want more of this pick content in the future, you can click that subscribe button, and also if you can click the thumbs up on this video, it's greatly appreciated. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next college basketball pick video.